It's just, it might hurt at times and might be hard in the beginning, but it's necessary. If you have a place you want to go, a destination you want to be in life, it is going to take work. If it is worth it, it is going to take work. That is just it. If it was easy, everybody else would be doing it. That's just the truth. My parents said it before. If it comes fast, it's coming from the devil. If it's coming slow, it's coming from God. That's just true. There's some things that God will give you when a little quicker than you expected, but he can do whatever he wants. He's a creator. If he wants to give it to you at this time, it's going to be at this time. He wants to give you at that time, it's going to be at that time, whatever it is. But be patient. That'll be another video. A lot of words I'm using are going to be other videos, God willing, in the future. But what I'm saying to all of you is you got to focus on you, y'all. Just focus on you. Don't focus on what other people are doing. Get your mind right. You deserve the best. Why focus on other people? Don't you feel good when you're productive? Like, think about that. Like, how do you feel when you're productive? Like, yo, I did this today and I did that today. You feel so good. Like, even like you're working out, you're like, oh, y'all, I did so good. Like, what is that feeling when you're working out? You feel good. Even if you worked out, but you didn't even lose no weight, you didn't tone up nothing, but that's your first day at the gym in 5 years, but you already feel that you did something because you did. Because it doesn't necessarily have to be about the physical. It's the fact that you did the action itself. That's the self-discipline. You did it. And then, God willing, you're going to go back tomorrow and the next day and the next day or whatever it is. If you can't go to the gym that day, you're going to do it at home. You're going to do something. And I said before, the reason why I'm saying working out, because you can measure working out. But it doesn't have to be working out. It could be anything. You actually read this book. Remember, it doesn't have to be a physical book. It could be an audio book, whatever it is. Just do it. Like Nike said, just do it. Commit yourself to doing it. You feel so much better when you're productive. I know I do. I'm like, I feel good. I did this. I did that. You feel good when you're organized. That's growth. That's getting older, y'all. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to grow to get better. Not be better than other people, but better than who we were yesterday. So work on that. You have it in you. Work on that. Don't work on other people. Oh, you heard such and such broke up. Oh, they ain't together. Oh, this and that. And I know as women, we can do that. But guess what? Women, we are very powerful beings. If we give life, we are extremely powerful. Focus on that. Don't focus on what other people are doing, ladies. Don't. Why? How's that making you better? How is that making you better knowing someone else's business or knowing that they're not doing well? How's that making you better? Again, social media will be whatever you use from it. But most people, unfortunately, don't use it for what's right. So they use it for things that are negative. And then you have social lies. And then people will project things that aren't true. But again, that's their business. That's not for you to decipher. That's not for you to pick apart. But well, that's a lie. And what does that have to do with you? So you can spend all day focusing on that? Grow. Focus on yourself. Just be better. You could achieve so much greatness when you're productive and you're minding your own business. That's why mind your own business and mindset are the same word, because it's about your mind, you. Focus on you. And when you do that, you can become the person you really want to be. At the other end of the tunnel, on the other side, you can grow and you can look back and say, wow, I'm really proud of myself. I've really come this far. And you can help others do the same thing. That's the beauty of it. Because you're working, now you've come to a point where you're so consistent and your self-discipline is so strong, it becomes like breathing. Now you can help others do the same thing. And that's a beautiful thing, because now you're not just blessing yourself, you're helping bless other people. That's what God wants. It's not just for you, it's just supposed to be for other people. That's why there's so many people on the planet, because God is like, y'all all share, y'all all be good to each other. Don't be stingy, don't be negative, don't be hating. Focus on yourself, but help other people come along too. And if the ones want to be whacked, then look, you showed them, you helped them, but they don't want it, then you got to take them out. You have to remove them out of your life. You have to remove yourself from that situation and those people. But that's what self-discipline is. It's just being so focused. My dad would get up at 3 a.m. He would, while the rest of the world was asleep, he was up starting his day, 3 a.m. And he was doing his prayers. And that was for hours. Not just a little bit, y'all. I'm talking about hours. Focusing, doing his prayers. Now, I don't know if you've seen someone doing their prayers for that long, but let me tell you, that takes some true self-discipline. That takes willpower. That is not a very easy thing. And I'm not just talking about 5 minutes here, getting up, 10 minutes here, getting up. Now I'm saying sitting in a place, sitting in his chair for hours, focusing, doing his prayers. That takes some hard work. and in a completely different language. That's another thing. So it's not like he's not reading English. So that's hard. That's hard work. Focusing on that, committing himself every day, not some days, every day to doing his prayers. And that is not an easy task. And it is an honor to witness, to see him do something so beautiful. And it's just all out of love. And it really is an honor to see that. But it's not easy, y'all. And my father achieved it. Even when having CP, he did it. He didn't stop. So he's starting his day at 3 a.m. when the rest of the world is asleep. He is committing, because you start his day with spirituality. I believe that you should start your day with spirituality. And I've read a great quote that says, if you cannot start your day when the beginning of your day, then you lost the rest of the day. You know, if you cannot defeat the beginning of the day, you lost the rest of the day. And my father surely defeated each day, because he achieved getting up at 3 a.m. and making sure his prayers were done. Hours. Then he would get into working out and doing the rest of stuff productive, but lots of family time, laughing, all that, joking, learning, all of that. But he understood at his core, he had to make sure he committed himself every day to getting there doing his prayers. Excuse me, even when he wasn't feeling well, he would go to his martial arts. He would still do his martial arts 3-4 times a week. He was there. It was just, my father would not feel well, be sick, still driving, going to class. It was just, we were like, Dad, no, go. He was like, no, I have to push myself. I have to be great. I have to. You're like, okay, well, all right. And, you know, then he get tight with you because you're telling him just to rest. He's like, no. You're like, oh, okay. So, you know, but that's how he is. Strong, very, very strong. And, you know, for me, the golden nugget is the fact that he committed himself to spirituality first. He challenged himself to be the best he wanted to be. And his ability to focus on his prayers without distraction, which takes a massive amount of self-discipline, is huge. And he did not ever skip a beat. And we all know, we live in a world full of distractions. Full of distractions. It's just getting worse day by day. But to have the ability to focus on what you find important takes a lot of guts, takes a lot of courage, takes a lot of grit. And that is something my father's full of. He didn't stop. Did not stop. Can't stop, won't stop. He did. And, you know, when it goes back to my father, when I said that, you know, there was no in his vocabulary because in his entire life he was told no. He filled his life with a whole bunch of yeses because he said, I am possible. And yes, I have a creator and I'm going to serve my creator. And he can tell me to go and no and yes and stop and you can have. And only he can only bless me, nobody else. And so with him having that confidence, that self-love, because of his self-discipline, because of his mindset, because of his self-love, my father understood that yes, his bold statements were, yes, I am great. Yes, I can achieve that. Yes, only God has power over me. Yes, I deserve the best. Yes, I am powerful. Yes, I do not believe in the impossible because I am possible. Yes, I will work on my dreams. Yes, no one is better than me, or am I better than them? Yes, I know what it takes to be the best. And yes is yes. You know what I mean? Yes. And that's really important. It's huge. And I want you all to understand that and live that way as well, because it's important. Yes, you deserve all those things and more. Even if I didn't say it, it's much, much more, because you do. You definitely do. Don't ever let anyone tell you no. And that no, and it's not even, you know, when people are like, I'm going to prove them wrong, forget them. Because to me, like when you're like, I'm going to prove that person wrong, that means that you're holding that person to value. If it's people important to you, that's different. But even still, you got to be careful of that because it's not their dream. You know, if they're saying, well, you can't, well, I ain't got to listen to you. How'd you find out anyway? I shouldn't have said that. But, you know, when it comes to other naysayers and they're like, no, you can't do this. No, you can't do that. Be careful who you reveal what you want to do anyway. But if they're saying, no, you can't, don't prove them wrong. If they are not being good to you, then don't value what they have to say. You're like, I don't even listen to you. You're like, I'm going to prove them wrong. No, prove yourself right. Be better than you were yesterday. Forget that person. That person doesn't even exist in your world because they're whack. You know, because then it's just all about proving that person wrong. So that's your focus now. That's your drive, proving that person wrong. How about you do for the people that you love? You're doing this for them, not proving that person wrong. You'd be like, why are you doing it? I want to prove that person wrong. Really? No, don't even waste your time on that. You do it because this is what you want, and you're doing it for the people that you love. Don't even mention that other person, because that's a waste of time. A waste of time and energy. Don't do that. And I also think about my little brother, as well, when it comes to self-discipline. There's so many people, but the two that I'm highlighting right now are, two of my heroes. And my little brother too, he had sickle cell anemia, and he did not let that get him down. Always smiling. Oh my God, Hussein is just, he's by far the funniest person I've ever met. My sisters and I to this day still have the jokes that he says, and so funny. And man, the same thing like my dad. They're two Virgos, so their work ethic is crazy, but couldn't tell them no for nothing, which is great. And my brother, even when you have a crisis or anything, he did the same thing. My dad, the martial arts, and his body was, not only was he in tip-top shape, but if you touched him, I remember one day, I thought I could try to play with him and punch him in the stomach. You're right, I almost broke my hand. That's how strong he is. Abs, strong. I'm like, dang. I didn't know man was that strong. Well, I knew he was strong, but I know him like that. I was like, dang, my little brother's strong. So, yeah, that's self-discipline. He worked hard on his body. He worked hard. Spiritual. He did his spiritual work too, and then his prayers, and then he got to working out. Oh, man. But now they're both in heaven. So they are up there just having the angels laughing, God willing. And, but it's just such a joy just to see, true self-discipline in its truest form, and to see what comes from it. It's one thing to have the discipline and have discipline for the wrong things, so you really have to get yourself in a line with, what am I disciplined to? Are my disciplines in the right area? And if your self-discipline is not in the right area, you really need to rethink that, and only you can do that. Your self-discipline should be about things that are making you better than you were yesterday, not for things that are not making you better. Remember, not better than anybody else, better than you were yesterday. That's what it should be, what your self-discipline is about. It should be about positivity, and you just want to focus the right way. We all get distracted. I'm not lying. We all get distracted, but you want to be able to achieve greatness. It's in you. It's definitely in you. Both my father and my brother committed their lives to self-discipline because they both understood and realized it was worth it, because they're worth it. And you're worth it too. You were so worth it. And in order to achieve greatness, y'all, you got to activate your greatness. And how do you activate your greatness? You make it come alive. And how do you make it come alive? You nurture it. You make sure you get your mind right. You love yourself. You focus. You're consistent. You put it into action. You're getting your mind right. You're understanding that you are possible. Within that word impossible is I'm possible. Such a beautiful thing. And you got it. Got to have that sharp laser focus. Got to have that laser focus. And you bring it into action. Bring it to life. Have consistency. Don't skip a beat. Don't do it. And so ask yourself, do you have discipline? What are you disciplined towards? What drives you? What drives you to be more disciplined? And what do you want to achieve? And how has your life changed since you implemented your self-discipline in a positive way? How's your life changed? And if not, what will it take for you to become more self-disciplined? And lastly, what would your life look like if you were more self-disciplined in a positive way? What would it look like? Just think about it. Just what would my life look like? Think about it. Because y'all, we have imagination. We have those gifts. We got them. Put them to use. That's what I'm trying to do. Put it to use. The world is waiting for your gifts. I've heard so many people say that, and it's true. Do it. Please do it. I want you to do it. I'm rooting for you. So my dad and my brother, they're so full of, pure love and gratitude, and their gratitude towards God and our family. And that's what drove them to be as focused as they are and strive for the best, is because they love God, and they love their family, and they understood what their why was. Their why was huge, and your why should be as big as your dreams, because God is the one giving you those dreams. He wouldn't put that in you if he didn't want you to bring them to life. If he didn't want you to activate your greatness, he wouldn't put that in you if you weren't supposed to activate your greatness. So activate your greatness. You were coming created from greatness. Activate it. Don't let nobody else tell you nothing else. All right? Please, y'all, please do it. You have what it takes. Don't waste another minute in not achieving your goals and activating your greatness. So in closing, like I always say, I just really want you all to be so, so good to each other. The world needs more love, needs that love, needs compassion, needs a hug. Be good to each other, okay? And all we have is now, so make it count, okay? Put that self-discipline to use. Do it for the right reasons, for the right way. And don't ever give up. So thanks for listening. Catch you next time. Hopefully episode 14 is coming soon. Thanks. Bye.